Fog Racing back with the final race review of the season. 22 races are down. Max Verstappen wins again. And I always feel with Abu Dhabi, like maybe part of last season because that was just 1 in a million, right? But it's such a shite, boring race. It often reflects how the season has went, right? Max wins comfortably. You've got Leclerc and Perez battling for second. Then you've got Sainz, who's just a bit adrift to them on some strategy that was never really going to work because the Ferrari didn't really have the pace, and also it had tyres that are gone. Hamilton, albeit I wouldn't say Hamilton retiring is particularly, fucking, that's because he hasn't retired a lot, but Mercedes kinda being there, but not really there. You'd Lando Norris, a clear best of the rest. You'd Ocon just behind him. Alonso retiring. And that is just a clear thing of the season. It is, and we've got Sebastian Vettel getting P10. We've got Lance Stroll narrowly beating him. Vettel question over the radio that he was getting screwed here. Daniel Ricciardo scraping points in his last race. And we also had Nicholas Latifi. I mean, that's how bad Latifi is, right? Latifi finishes the race, even though they were claiming it was DNF, and he still couldn't beat Hamilton, who DNF'd. Latifi got wiped out by Schumacher. It's probably the most competitive race that Latifi's had all season. But, but the guy's fucking done. Like, Crofty saying, he says so much retarded stuff on commentary today, like, oh, it's going to be his last race for Williams, right? At least you could argue that with, like, Danny Rick or, like, Mick Schumacher. You can definitely see them coming back to the sport. Well, I can at least, but Latifi, what's he going to be driving? A big block of fucking Nutella? The guy's done. I mean, I say he's done as if he was ever at a point. Like, last season, he got more points than Russell in Hungary, and then see towards the end of last season, he was beginning to outqualify Russell. Albon's come into that seat. Here on this channel, we don't really rate Albon. Don't think many people really rate Albon. I think he's alright, and Albon has fucking spanked him. So, Latifi had to go, and it's all over for him. I kind of feel for the guy. He's had 3 years of absolute hee-haw. Like, you felt with everyone else, like everyone else is leaving or retiring. Like, they could have got points. There could have been a nice send-off. But with Latifi, you just knew, like, at best, he wasn't going to finish last. Technically, he wasn't classified last, Alonso took him to that. But in terms of the race, Hamilton gets forced off by Sainz, even though he didn't really force him off, in my opinion. But the commentators were kind of like, well, what's going on there? And then Hamilton let him back through, kind of reminiscent till last year when Verstappen overtook him, but I think that was Verstappen came from a way longer back, but Brundle was trying to say on commentary that was very similar. And as we moved on through the race, it looked like Red Bull were just going to smoke the rest of them. Ferrari's pace looked nowhere. Then it just flipped. Mercedes just went to shit. Hamilton went awful. I'm going to believe that was when he went over the bumps. Russell looked like he could attack the Ferraris, then that kind of faded. Then cars day one stops, and then you're thinking, right, we're just going to do a one-stop here. But then Perez getting caught by Leclerc, and then Red Bull, I think, kind of jumped the gun. They pitted Perez because, right, they pitted him on lap 34 with 24 laps to go. Why not eke it out? And even if Leclerc overtakes you, why not eke it out to, like, lap 40 and then pit for the mediums or the soft? I don't understand why these teams, they'll do an extra pit stop in a race, so, like, they'll do a 2 against a 1, and then they'll put on the hard tyre. It's just, I don't know, the hard tyre's designed to go long. Like, you'd rather be on fresh hards than worn hards, right? Because obviously Perez showed that he caught Leclerc up. But I just feel like if Perez eked out his strategy and then went on to the mediums, he had a really good chance of beating Leclerc. Of course, Hamilton held him up for a bit, which also didn't help his thing. But I think if Perez honestly went on to a different strategy or a different tyre compound, he could have even got Max. He could have, but would Red Bull have allowed that? Probably not. And that is the way it finished. Leclerc pips Perez to it. Vettel gets points in his last race. I don't think he'll be back. Ricciardo gets points in his last race. He could be back. And yeah, Aston Martin, definitely a mega improvement in the last half of the year because, I think they finished in the same points as Alfa Romeo because Bottas got 5th and Imola. They couldn't, that's the reason why they can't beat them. They needed one more point off of Ricciardo. But yeah, Norris best of the rest, Ocon 7th. The standings will probably do a Fed reacting to our predictions. I know for a fact we were Forza Ferrari. We predicted Charles Leclerc to win this title. And yeah, he got second, but it's that distant of a second. I'm not going to even claim you were half a point. It was horrendous. Max Red Bull dominating next season. I don't think it will be. I mean, I don't even think Ferrari will improve much, but I just feel like Mercedes will be there to take points off Red Bull, which I think will help Ferrari in the long term. Yes, they're going to take points off Ferrari, but I actually feel like another team taking points off Red Bull is going to help Ferrari because they're just fucking useless. Like Leclerc even said in this thing after, like, oh, we're getting strategy right the last couple of races. This is like the only race you've probably got the strategy right, mate. So let's not pretend it's been the last couple. But anyway, that'll do it for this race review. It was bad. Was it as bad as Mexico a couple of weeks ago? No, but it wasn't good either. So until next time, peace.